Let's say their scout ship landed here and that a disaster occurred. Some kind of reactor explosion, chain reaction. Suffice to say, the wreckage that landed on Regis 3 had no living beings on board.
Only the machine survived.
And then what? They started bashing in each other's tin heads? Doesn't make much sense to me. Machines don't have emotions. They don't argue.
First things first. Millions of years ago, some highly advanced race sent machines to Regis 3. And these were specialized homeostatic mechanisms, left with no one to command them. As an engineer, you know well how it is. A robot does what it needs to do, whether it serves someone or not. At first, they probably just repaired themselves, or built a home for their dead masters.
Until something forced them to change.
Exactly. Certain types of predator eat anything that moves. So I'm betting they were attacked by local fauna. The key was that these machines had the ability to produce others as needed. To combat, say, flying reptiles, they started producing flying machines.
That still doesn't explain why they started fighting among themselves. Since they already defeated the living organisms, why keep producing themselves? It makes no sense.
What's a guiding principle of a homeostat?
I don't...
That was a rhetorical question. It's all about survival in changing conditions.
Estoy muy atento a lo que dicen,
Further forms of necroevolution were no longer threatened by the local fauna, but they had to find sources of energy and materials from which they could produce replacement parts and offspring. Originally, their descendants were undoubtedly powered by radiant radiation, but on Regis, there are no radioactive elements at all.
Sounds familiar. When the energy runs out, you have to wheel and deal.
Yes, the default source wasn't available anywhere, so they had to look for an alternative. There was a severe energy crisis and a conflict among the machines. Simply put, they fought to survive, exist. That's what evolution is all about selection.
Wait, Doctor. We've established that these beings are mindless. Shouldn't the organisms with the most developed nervous systems win the game of evolution? In this case, instead of a nervous system, there was some kind of electrical one, but the principle remains the same.
Not exactly, sir. The most advanced of the mechanisms that landed here derived energy from their own radioactive resources. Simpler devices such as small repair systems could have had solar panels, and in that case would have had a significant advantage over the others.
But the other ones could defend themselves. They could attack.
With atomic power, yes, that's possible. But I see it differently. In necroevolution, the most successful beings were those that excelled in miniaturization above all else. Also, the sedentary creations. The former gave rise to the cloud, which the flies form when necessary, in pursuit of a common interest. Meanwhile, the sedentary ones gave rise to a peculiar species of metallic vegetation. Those structures formed the city.
So, it's still functional?
No. For some reason, the city lost a fight for survival. And now, there are only rusting remains. Only one form survived. The microbots that conquered the land on Regis 3.
So, these flies just adapted best?
To the conditions of this planet. Yes, that's how it works.
So, to summarize, some alien race sent advanced robots to Regis 3. Local dinosaur-like monsters tried to eat them. So the robots produced other robots, which produced more and more robots, until they fell victim to their own overproduction. After a number of iterations and wars for resources, they spat out the murderous cloud, which took over the planet.
Indeed. To put it simply...
For me, the matter is perfectly clear. Makes no sense to bomb these creatures. I'll even say it's a greater danger to us than to them.
But how else do you imagine defeating the cloud?
Well, that's the thing. I don't. It's invincible. Yes, sir, do you agree?
Well...
Yeah, I very much agree. Another attack would make no difference. Just a few flies are enough for the cloud to regenerate.
What if we destroy their nests?
No, Ritra. Unless we want to destroy the entire planet, it's impossible to eliminate them all. And even then, there's no guarantee they would die in space. After all, the flies need no air, water, or food. Only solar energy.
But what else can we do, if not attack?
We can leave this place and never come back.
How so? Your commander will swoop down from orbit and pick us up? Or do you have an extra ship up your sleeve?
I'm afraid none of these.
I was thinking about a saucer, or some other vehicle from the Condor.
Don't count on it, Yasna. It's a miracle we arrived on that wreck of a saucer. Nothing else flies around here, I checked. Huh. Done. Warheads are armed. One more press of a button, and there'll be no turning back. I can't.
That was close.
I'm suspending all actions leading to conflict. But what should I do now?
Nice.
We no longer have any landers. So I hate to say it, but I can't help you. Believe me, I would like nothing better.
Let's send a message to the Invincible. A short report on the status of the crew. And on our discoveries.
You should also introduce yourself as a member of the Commonwealth. It's better not to hide it, as it will only arouse suspicion.
Don't worry about that, Novik. It's up to me to make sure they understand everything. Now, let me check on the guys. I want to make sure they're stable. I hope we'll speak again, Astrogator.
Until then, Ritra.
I'll join you soon.
No hurry, Yasna. Take your time.
De manera se voltea rápido. Boom.
He's gone.
Doctor. Yasna, it was truly an honor. I'm having a hard time finding the right words.
I have one last request.
I'm listening.
I'd like Koval and Krauter to remember me, even just from your stories.
Of course. I'll let everyone know what you did for them.
No, I don't care about gratitude. I just want them to know who I was. I am.
Right. I will try to do justice in capturing your extraordinary character. Although I must admit, it's not an easy assignment.
As always. I'm not making anything easier for you, Novik.
As always, yes, sir.
Have a safe journey.
Thank you, and take care. Over and out.
Y ya. Y ya.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You look...
like shit. I know.
really tired. That's what I meant to say.
Because you're trying to be polite. The undeniable truth is, I look and feel like shit. Will you close it for me?
Of course. Support and stimulants will help you.
I won't sleep. I can't. You know that. I have to endure somehow.
It won't get to that. Because I'll tell you everything all over again.
No. Yes, no. I know me all too well. I won't believe the cloud can't be defeated. Or help you convince the Invincible's crew you're innocent. You'll end up in custody, and they'll just repeat our mistakes. It's a strange feeling. Remaining conscious in the hibernator.
You clearly haven't visited the infirmary often. This is a standard procedure for a long recovery.
Will you take another look at Landor and Spluskas?
Yep. Lendor is sleeping.
I'm doing it now. Don't worry.
Thanks. I was still wondering whether to go to the nest. This is probably your last chance. If you want to make it before the Invincible arrives, it would be good to have you here. When they come, the journey there and back will take you about 12 hours.
12 horas?
No, I'm not going. I know it's a unique opportunity to get closer to this phenomenon, and I might never get another chance. But I've thought about it a lot, and I'd rather stay here with you. Now rest. You should save your strength for their arrival.
Unos días más tarde.
Too heavy has become. Down you go, oh bright sun. Night is not that scary.
El Invencible.
At last, they've arrived. Rahitra, do you hear? They're landing now. Rahitra?
Se quedó dormido el bro. The end. Yasna terminó su historia en Regis 3. Star Wars Industries. Demson. Pues eso fue todo. Eso fue todo el juego, todo el videogame. Ya la próxima iniciaremos con Alan Wake 1. Yo calculo que son como 11 horas, ¿no? Yo eso calculo. 11 orinis. 11 orines. Lo voy a checar de una vez. Alan Wake. How long to beat? No. How long is Alan Wake? Dice 10 horas y media. Sí, como 11 horas. Dice entre 10 horas y media y 14. Ajá. Así que nada. Vamos a ver, si se corta el stream, ahí muere y F. Si no, pues no muere ahí y no F.